All my parts are machine sanded to 120 grit, and I've got them kind of laid out. Just about ready for glue up. I got all the DNA off them anyways. Well, today is glue up day, and I've had this thing together and apart so many times I'm going to consider that the dry fit. But I don't think I'm going to film it. It's going to be a little bit stressful. My plan is to get the short stretchers glued to the legs and the legs glued to the top, and then I will just dry fit the long stretchers. Flip it up, put my wedges in. After a few hours I'll come and unclamp it and then put the long stretchers in. Mission accomplished part way. The short stretchers are glued to the legs are glued into the top is wedged, the long stretchers are just clamped in place. Well, the glue's dry enough. I took down some of the wedges and just gave it a light traversing pass. That's why the colors are all weird. A couple of light traversing pass diagonally across the table. Start knocking down the high spots. But yeah, it's starting to look alright. So you can see where my high spots are. I've got to do my final leveling on it yet. So I guess now I can flip it over and put the long stretchers in place with glue this time. And there we go. Clamped and clamped and clamped. There'll be a little bit of squeeze out to clean up. I missed a few spots, but got most of it wiped up. And the joints came out pretty decently. Well, I got about half a day of planing, sanding, and scraping, and getting everything touched up. It's finally ready for some finish. And for finish, I'm just using the old standard boiled linseed oil. Finally, I guess as good a place as any to start is the chop for the vise. See how this walnut looks. A quick flyby. A coat of boiled linseed oil really brought up the figure and grain on that maple. Made it a nice color too. So this will be the front when it gets flipped over. And it's still wet. I have to confess, when I first started this project I had something rustic in mind. And I think I got a little bit of mission creep happening there. And this is the back of the bench. As the sun makes different shadows on it. And my shop's a mess. And I got the chop hanging right there. And that figure is not really showing in that yet. Oh yeah, you can see a little bit of it there. You can see the flame starting to come out on it. So we're going to let it sit for 24 hours at least. And maybe put another coat on it, I'm not sure. 3 coats of boiled linseed oil on it now. 1 every day for 3 days. One more job to do before we flip it up on its legs for hopefully the last time. I got some offcuts here that should just do the job nicely. And that gives me battens for my shelf. And they will remain unfinished. They're just battens. I think I mentioned I contemplated putting wax on after the boiled linseed oil. After a short period of time I thought, not too bright if I want it to be gripping wood on the chop on that. But I will wax the moving part. Just to reduce some friction.